some advice to our attendees today who are maybe in the middle of a project, or they're working on tasks for their executives or colleagues, and there is a constant miscommunication around that task? I wonder if there's any tips that you can share there.
Yeah. So I think for me, what I like to do is draft a brief. So if it's like a project, once you understand the task of the project, I'll draft like a brief summary of my understanding, and then I'll share it with the parties concerned, part of it. And I find that this can help catch and like rectify any misinterpretations in the early stages. So it can like clarify any jargon or abbreviations. Like sometimes when people are talking, they'll just say, oh, TMS, and you're just writing down the notes and you'll like circle that to, oh, I need to find out what that is, but clarify as much as you can in this brief. I think also I ask probing questions. So for example, like, do you want this report by Friday? Or like, when do you envision needing this report and what should it cover? Like putting context in it with specific answers to it. Otherwise I'll be like, oh, next week. No. Do you want it by Friday? Like I'm very detailed with things like that. I am also like, I document everything, as I said. So like from instructions to feedback, because I feel like this serves as a reference point, and you can go over that. Like you've always got your documentation that you can kind of always go back. Same with kind of checklists. I love a list.
Yeah, I think everyone will be nodding away at that point. I've never met an assistant who doesn't love a list.
Love a list. So I think checklists are simple but powerful tools because they ensure that you've got all the components of the task and that they're clear and that they're accounted for. So if something seems ambiguous while creating the checklist, that's your cue to seek clarity on it. So I'd also say regular check-ins if it's a big project. Making sure you're all kind of on the same page. But I would also kind of on the flip side of that be like, if you are doing the process of going through all of this, make sure that you are kind of making sure that you're taking notes and taking in what this is, because there's nothing more annoying than trying to progress a project and someone's asking the same questions again and again. Like it's kind of like, I don't mind helping people and I don't mind telling you how to do something. But if you keep coming to me with the same question, or it's something that you could possibly find out for yourself, that's when I kind of like, dude, come on, like you're an admin. You should know how to do this. So I think that's the part where execs might get a bit niggly. So I'd just say like, make sure you've got your notes so that you're on point when you're going through things in these like catch ups and things like that. And if you're not clear on it, seek external perspective. Like sometimes someone not directly involved in the task or the project can spot ambiguities because they're coming in with a fresh perspective. So don't hesitate to talk to a colleague or, ask someone to have a quick review of it because, 9 times out of 10, people won't have a problem helping you with that. But just, making sure that you feel confident in your role so you're clear with it.
Yeah. And Tara, one of the things I think you can really talk to is the organisation that you work for. I mean, it must be so fast paced. Mm-hmm. There must be so much change that happens on a regular basis. Mm-hmm. So one of the kind of areas I think where assistants can struggle with ambiguity is when there's so much change. Mm-hmm. So I wonder if you can talk to how you go about just managing that, fast-paced, changing atmosphere, and then how you go about communicating what you need in that environment.
Well, I think when you work in an environment where there's a great deal of change, I think it is absolutely critical that you have strong organizational skills, right? Mm-hmm. And that I think it's important that those of us that work in these kinds of environments, are making sure that we're keeping schedules, we're doing what's on the to-do list, we're clear about what the priorities are, and that we're well organized, because all of that can help us quickly adapt, like if anything shifts or changes. There's nothing worse than something shifting or changing and you are all over the place and you're not structured and organized. And so to me, that's sort of the baseline, is to make sure that you're really organized so that you can shift as the priorities shift. I think time management is probably super critical because, you know, when you are working in an organization where you may be getting directives from lots of different places, things are changing, you got to be comfortable in understanding how to prioritize things, how to be able to delegate things when necessary, because, you know, sometimes it's like, okay, I'm only one person. I need to be able to delegate some of this work. I also think it's sort of critical to think about creating buffers and time in your schedule to prepare for sort of unforeseen events that can take place. I also feel like flexibility and open-mindedness is sort of really important because some of us can get rigid in our work and see shifts in priorities or things coming from another direction that maybe we're not focused on. We feel is sort of disruptive. And I think it's important to realize that you got to be willing to embrace the change, have a flexible attitude, be really ready for any unexpected shifts, because I just operate from the place of any of this could change at any time. So I try to stay, you know, as organized, mindful of my time, and be flexible with any changes that come along. I also think being strong, we've talked a little bit about this, like around communication, making sure that, you know, I'm communicating with, you know, my managers, my peers, and checking in, providing updates, getting clarification on any changing or shifting priorities are really, really important. And then, you know, we don't talk about this enough. I think sort of stress management is a big deal because, you know, stress, I feel like, is a common sort of companion to change. And so being able to take, you know, opportunities to breathe when things are coming at you that might be shifting what you're doing and slow down are critically important. And so those would be some of the tips that I would offer people. Hopefully I answered that question.
Perfect. Yeah. I have to come back on a point that you made, and I don't know if it's because it's just I'm kind of in at the moment, making that shift from assistant to business owner, which I know the two of you have done as well. But I'd love to just touch on what you mentioned there about delegating. I know you've got an assistant team. I know, Candice, in the past you've had your EA job and you've had an assistant work alongside you as well. So I know there will be a lot of assistants that are in that position now where they can delegate to people that are supporting them. So really, any advice on how you did that? Because I must say I struggle. I really struggle with it.
I think that one of the signs of a strong leader is being able to obviously identify strong talent and make sure that you're building a team of people who I like to have people around me who know more than me in some instances, right? And so I think part of being a strong leader is recognizing that there are other people that can do some of the work. One of the things that I find, you know, in some instances with leaders is they think that only I can do this. I'm the only person who can do this correctly. And if I don't do it, then it's not going to get done right. And I think that is, it's a control thing, obviously. Listen, I tell you, there is value and you've got to be able to delegate it to the right person, obviously, right? You want to make sure that you are building a team of people that you are confident in their ability. And you also need to be able to allow them to do the work and coach them along the way if you need to. And also go into those situations understanding that maybe it won't be exactly the way you would have done it, or maybe it won't be perfectly the way you would have done it. But in order to effectively spend your time as the business owner, focused on the things that really move the needle forward in your business, you have to get comfortable with delegating.
Yeah, I'm clearly not the prize person to discuss this. I am a terrible delegator. I am trying my hardest to get better at it. And my assistant actually is quite good at calling me out on it. She's very good at being like, that's for me to do. Like, why did you do that? And I'm like, oh, I just thought it'd be quicker if I get it done. She's like, no, that's not helpful. I need to be able to do that because that's the next step with that. And I'm like, oh, okay. And then I feel guilty because I've just taken a step for her that she wanted to do to. So in a way, it's kind of good that she's kind of guilting me into stop just taking things. And I'm very much one of those high achievers as well, where I feel like if it's not done perfectly, you know, I know that I'll do it perfectly. They might not do it perfectly. It's like, let go of that. You know, nobody done is better than perfect in a lot of situations. And if they can get the first draft done for you and then you can finesse it, even like my newsletters, she gets the newsletter stuff done and then I'll finesse it. But it's just become like a lifesaver for me that she's able to pull it all together and then I can finesse it as to how I want it. But it's been a journey. It's still a journey. I'm a control freak when it comes to admin. I still have that. It must be perfect. It's like, it's your stuff. Like, if it's not perfect, you're going to be upset. So just calm your jets.
It fits in, I think, really well with the topic, because I think sometimes you can feel like, okay, so-and-so's not giving me clear instructions, or I'm missing a piece there. But that could also be that you're overwhelmed with how much stuff you've got on your plate. Yep. And actually, if there's a way of just shifting some of the priorities or taking some of the work off your plate, then things are going to become much clearer and you're going to have that time to really sit down, ask questions, do all the correct listening. It could simply be that you're just overwhelmed with too much information coming at you. So I think it ties in really nicely with the overall subject.